24th of December, Rabbi, more Parsha Hashavua is Rashi.
Last parsha over here in Chumash Bereshis. Ooh, that doesn't sound good.
No, I'm feeling pretty lousy today.
Okay. Meir, you're the Kohen. Yeah, right? Let's start.
Okay. Vayechi Yaakov be'eretz Mitzrayim sheva esrei shana. Vayehi yemei Yaakov shnei chayav sheva shanim v'arba'im u'me'at shana. Okay, so Yaakov lived in the land of Egypt 17 years. And it was the days of Yaakov, the years of his life, Sheva Shanim, 7 years and 40 years, so that's 47. No, hold it.
And 100. Ma'as.
Oh, Uma'at Shana. Oh, okay. And 100 years. So he lived 147 years.
Yeah.
Ma'at.
And last week's Parsha, there's actually from the Das Kanim. Bali Atosus wrote a Pirish on the Torah. And there it says that when Yaakov met Paro, so Paro asked him, how old are you? Kama yemei shnei chayecha. To which Yaakov answered, Vayoma Yaakov al Paro, Yaakov said to Paro, Yemei shnei megurai, the days of my sojourning have been 130 years. Ma'at v'roim hoyo yemei shnei chayai. The days of my life have been few and unpleasant. It didn't come to the level of the years of the life of my fathers in the days of their sojourning. Means when they sojourned, they were fine. Okay, but I've had a rough time. So because of that, so if it's interesting, if you count of the words from the Parsha, Vayomer Paro el Yaakov. Paro said to Yaakov, Kama yemei shnei chayecha. How old are you? How many are the years of your life? To which he answered, the years of my life have been 130 years, and few and unpleasant, bad. So if you count the words of these two psukim, comes to 33 words. So it says the Das Kanim, based on the Midrash, that's why 33 years were deducted from Yaakov's life because of the way he answered Paro. Sounded as if he was lacking, how should I say it, lacking gratitude to HaKadosh Baruch Hu for whatever HaKadosh Baruch Hu had done for him. So ask the Chaim Shmulevitz, famous Rosh Yeshiva of the Mir Yeshiva, passed away, Tafshin Lamed Tes, 1978. How many years ago that is? Nearly 45 years ago. Anyway, he asked the following question: why was the Yaakov punished for the question? That Paro's question. Paro asked him, "How old are you?" So to which he answered. He gave his answer. So why was Yaakov punished for the question? I can understand his answer. He was punished for because he should have answered in a more positive and more grateful form, a grateful way. But why was he punished for your Paro's question? Says Reb Chaim Shmulevitz, it's a very strange thing, two heads of state, two great people meet. And the first question one asked the other, tell me, how old are you? That's very strange. Why is Paro's first question to Yaakov, how old are you? First you make a greeting and say, we're pleased to meet you, whatever thing, Paro's first question is he opens his mouth and he says, tell me, how old are you? It's very strange. So it says Reb Chaim Shmulevitz that when Yaakov walked into Paro, he walked in heavy. He looked really old. And therefore, Paro's initial reaction is, wow, this is a really old man over here. Tell me, how old are you? In other words, his age was so apparent in the way in Yaakov's demeanor. He looked old and bent, and he looked as if he'd gone through things in life. So therefore, says Reb Chaim Shmulevitz, for the way Yaakov presented himself, and that he not encouraged, but prompted Paro to ask him this question, how old are you? That he was also punished for, because he should have, if he'd come in with a smile on his face and upright and erect, Paro wouldn't have been prompted to ask any questions about how old he is. So therefore, the actual Yaakov's whole demeanor is what prompted Paro's question, so that he should have been in a more positive and happy demeanor. Yaakov should have been in such a position. The fact that he came in like schlepping himself, as you would say maybe in Yiddish, right? He was like old and bent. That in itself prompted Paro's question, and for that he was also punished. Anyway, that's what upon him. According to this Dasakanim, he was punished, taken 33 years off his life because of these 33 words in these two psukim.
Wow.
Okay, let's go back to the Rashi here.
Okay, so it says Vayechi Yaakov. So Yaakov lived. Lama Parsha zo Situma. So why is this Parsha Stuma
Closed up.
Closed up? So it doesn't have a break or a indentation in the Torah, huh? Okay.
Unlike all the other parshas, this parsha starts off one pasuk after another without a break.
Okay, so let's see the answer. I guess Lefi Shekevan Shet Niftar Yaakov Avinu, because when Yaakov, our father, passed away,
Which is going to happen in this parsha.
Okay. Nistemu Einehem Bilibam Shel Yisrael. So the eyes and heart of Israel were closed.
Right.
Mitzarat Hashibud. Because of the suffering of the slavery.
Yeah.
Okay. Shehit Chilu L'Shab Dam. That they will begin to enslave them.
They began to enslave them.
Okay. So this happened while Yaakov was still alive, or just after he passed away?
Well, mostly after he passed away.
Okay.
It happened essentially after he passed away.
Okay. But okay, so there's another explanation. Davar acher shebikesh legalot et haketz, because he is to reveal the end.
Right. He wanted to reveal to them when is going to be the final redemption.
The final to Levanav, to his sons. The Nistam Mimenu. Nistam, but it was closed off of him. Okay. And this is Bereshit Rabbah and Bereshit Rabbah. Oh, okay. So now we know why it's a
Because
stuma.
there's no. So it's interesting that the Maisa mashma from Rashi that essentially this really should have been a separate section. But for these two reasons, which Rashi mentions, that Chazal, who the Masoros of how the Torah is supposed to be written, this was not ordained. This Parsha by Yaakov was not ordained to be a separate section, because for the reasons which Rashi gives.
Hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Pasuk Chav Tes. Next pasuk. Lu.
Vayikra Yemei Yisrael Lamus. Vayikra La Livno Liosef. Vayomer Lo Im Na Matasi Chen Beinecha Sim Na Yadcha Tachas Yarechi Yurechi Ve'a Seesaw Imadi had said Chesed Ve'emes Al Na Tik Bereni B'Mitzrayim. So the time approached for Israel to die. So he called for his son Yosef, for Yosef, and he said to him, if now I have found grace in your eyes,
Right.
place now
Please place.
what?
Okay.
Your hand under my thigh and do with me kindness and truth. Do not, please do not bury me in Egypt.
Right.
The Rashi says, Vayikravu Yemei Yisrael Lamus. Kol mi shene'emar bo kariva lamus. Anyone about whom approaching to die is stated, lo higia limei avosav. He did not reach the days of his fathers. Yitzchak chaya.
Hi.
I'm sorry, Chai. Yitzchak Chai Mea Ushmonim. Yitzchak lived 180. Yaakov Mea Arbaim V'Sheva. And Yaakov 147. The David Ne'emar Kariva of David, it says
Also.
approaching to die,
Right.
approaching. Aviv Chai Arba Meos Shana. His father lived 400 years.
Who?
Who Chai Shiv'im, and he lived only 70.
Right.
Like
Now the idea behind this is, sorry, the idea behind it is as follows. We had this before, that when Yitzhak reached the age of 122, 123, he wanted to give Esau a blessing, and it ended up giving Yaakov a blessing. So Rashi says, what was the significance of that age? Because once he came within 5 years of one of his parents, the age to which one of his parents reached, so he was conscious that maybe his time is also similarly, he's going to live a similar amount of time. So therefore, he wanted to prepare, give his son a blessing before he leaves this world. So from that you see that through mazel, let's call it this way, that a child will live a similar amount of time as one of his parents. This is kind of a mazel. If the parent lived a certain age, so will the child will also live the same amount of time. So when the Torah uses the term, so technically, let's take an example of Yaakov. His father lived 180 years, so Yaakov should have also lived 180 years. But his time for dying drew near. It was earlier than expected. That's the meaning. Vayikravu Yemei Yisrael Lomos. Right? So it doesn't mean that his time was approaching. The time when he was for dying came closer than it should have been. You understand? Because he should have lived, according to his mazel, 180 years, and instead he only lived 147 years. So the time for his dying drew closer than it would have been otherwise. Came earlier than it would have otherwise. Similarly, also with David HaMelech as well. He should have, following the mazel of his father lived 400 years, so he should also have lived 400 years. But no, the time for his dying came earlier, drew closer than what it would have been otherwise. Okay?
Vayikra livno liYosef. So he called for his son, for Yosef. Lemi shehaya hayicholes biado. To the who had the ability, la'asos, to act. Sim na yadcha.
What does that mean? Why did he call Dafka Yosef and not any one of the other sons?
Because Yosef was in a position to.
Yosef was in a position to carry out his request.
Right.
Okay.
V'hi shava, to swear.
Right. Means place your hand. Is the purpose of him placing his hand underneath the thigh was not just for that purpose. That was not that was not the end. It was the means to carry out an oath, to swear an oath. Even though the Torah doesn't say he actually says where he swore. I mean, it says later he swore to him, but the point that Yaakov doesn't say, place your hand underneath my thigh and swear, but that's the implication. Okay?
Chesed ve'emes. Chesed she'osin im ha-mesim. Kindness that people do for the dead. Hu chesed shel emes. This is the kindness of truth, i.e., genuine kindness.
Means it's true kindness, genuine kindness.
She'eno mitzapeh
She'ena mitzapeh letashlum gemul.
Tashlum gemul. Because one does not look forward to recompense.
Right, because if he's burying, right, Reuben is burying Shimon, he's not going to expect that Shimon's going to do the same for him.
Al na tik be'reini be'mitzrayim. Do not bury me in Egypt.
Yeah.
So
Now
far,
Rashi's going to explain why didn't Yaakov want to be buried in Egypt?
Lios afara kini. Its destiny is that its soil will turn into lice.
Right, the earth, the dust of Egypt was going to turn into lice.
Umurachashin tachas goofy. This is in parentheses. I don't know if you have it.
Yeah.
And they would crawl beneath my body.
Yeah.
V'she'ein.
So obviously, well, that's one. So obviously, it's going to cause, even though at the time after Yaakov had died, but Lamaisa, it's going to cause pain to the soul of the deceased if his body is being inflicted with things which would cause a live person pain. That's why worms, for instance, the Gemara says that a worm to a dead person is like a needle
So
to a live person.
why do we want to be buried?
What else? I mean,
Sounds
obviously.
like we're torturing ourselves.
So you don't believe in Tchias HaMesim? What else should we do?
Cremation. Cremation, we wouldn't be subject to being in pain
So
from
what
lice and
so what
things.
else should we do?
What do you mean?
So there's an Indian of burial dafka in earth. So a piece soid or whatever. Why this dafka is, but the Torah says was part of the curse given to Adam Arishon that he said to him, you were created from earth and you will return to earth. Where is it? Adam אמר, כפי שאמר, כי עופר אתה ואל עופר תשוב. You are made from earth and you're going to return to the earth. Okay, that's the pasuk in Bereshit chapter 3, pasuk 19.
All right, so cremate the body and then spread the ashes on the earth.
So, but then there's this thing that's not covered hames, because we believe that when the soul leaves the body, it's only on a temporary basis. The body is going to return to the soul is going to return to the body. It's tchias hamesim. Therefore, cremation is something which is absolutely forbidden.
How is the soul going to return to the body? The body's going to be decomposed. It's not going to be.
There'll still be a skeleton there. There will still be a skeleton.
So the soul is going to return to the skeleton.
Yeah, and then the flesh will regrow as described in the Novi Yecheskel about the dry bones.
Uh-huh.
So the dry bones are going to come to life, and they're going to again have flesh and skin and organs. Okay.
V'she'ein, they say chutza la'aretz chayim. And because the dead that are outside of the land will not live
Well, we won't be brought back to life
Ella Kitsa'ar Gilgul Mechilos. But with the pain of rolling through tunnels.
right?
V'shalo Yasuni.
Meaning, so in other words, Tchias HaMesim only happens in Eretz Yisrael. So all the people who died in Chutz La'aretz will have to roll through the tunnels to Eretz Yisrael before they can be Zeicha to Tchias HaMesim.
Mitzrim Avodah Zara. Also, so that the Egyptians should not make a pagan deity.
Do not make me into an idol, form of idol worship. Because don't forget, I mean, when Yaakov Avinu came, the famine stopped.
Ah, right.
And as a result of that, he was Yaakov Avinu was tremendously honored and revered by the Egyptians. So he was afraid that they would, after his death, they would turn him into a form of idol worship. So for these three reasons, therefore, Yaakov didn't want to be buried in Egypt. Okay? Pasuk Lamed, Mea.
Okay, v'shachavti im avotai unesatani mimitzrayim ukvartani bikvuratam vayomar nochi e'aseh kidvarecha. Okay, and I will lie down with my fathers.
Now,
And
Rashi's going to explain what that means.
okay, and you should take me from Egypt.
Carry me from Egypt.
Okay, and bury me in their grave. And he said, I will do according to your words. Your words. Okay, so let's see Rashi. V'shachavti im avotai. Now lie down with my fathers. I
will lay with my father.
I will lay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, right. Vavzo. So
this
vav, okay. Mechubar lemala is connected to that which is above. Litchalat.
Litchilas hamikra.
Litchalat hamikra.
To
To
the
the
beginning of the verse.
Oh, okay.
This is a continuation.
Okay, so this simna yadcha tachat yirechi v'hishava li. So please put your hand under my thigh and swear to me. Va'ani Sophie lishkav im avotai. And for me,
and I, in the end,
okay,
will lie with my fathers.
Lie with my fathers. Okay, v'ata tisaeni mimitzrayim. And you shall take me out of
Carry
Egypt.
me from Egypt.
Okay. The ein lomar v'shakavti im avotav.
Im avotai, right? To
Avotai.
explain the term, this phrase, v'shachavti im avotai, means lay me with my fathers, meaning I'm referring to the
Lay
burial.
me.
Hashkiveni im avoisai b'mora. Right? Lay me with my fathers in the cave.
Okay.
Because it can't be Shariksiv Achrov, because it's written after that, Unsosani Mimitzrayim, and you shall carry me from Egypt. Ukvartani bikvurosam, and you shall bury me in the burial plot. So the term V'shochavti mavoisai cannot be referring to the burial of Yaakov. Must be referring to, this is a statement of Yaakov, that I will lie with my fathers, meaning I will pass away. He's referring to his death. This is what will happen to me eventually, is that I will lie with my fathers. Okay? And then when I pass away, you shall carry me from Egypt and bury me in their burial plot.
Okay. Let's see. V'od matzinu b'chol makom. And in addition,
Furthermore, yeah.
okay, we find in other places, L'shon shchiva im avotav, this expression of lying down with the fathers, he ha-gevi'ah v'lo ha-kevurah.
This refers to the how should we say, the expiring of the soul, the actual the process of death, rather than referring to the burial.
Okay. Kemo vayishkav David im avotav.
Says David lay with his fathers.
Okay. V'achar kach.
And after that, Vayikover be'ir David. He was buried in the city of David.
Okay.
Okay. So that's what Rashi is pointing out. This terminology, the shochavti mavoisai, that phrase means I will lie with my fathers, means I will pass away. Okay?
Okay.
Very good. I think we'll stop here. Okay. See you tomorrow, B'ezrat Hashem. Hopefully everybody feels a bit better.
Okay. Yeah.
Have a great day, Kultiv.
I'm starting to get better. Okay. Be well.
Baruch Hashem. Good.
Okay, have a good day.